Okay, so now we have all over the coast, we have
Sensations in the pharmaceutical
We're under video surveillance.
Questions
We'll be okay.
That's 1-877-YAZ-ATTY.
Okay, so now we have all over the coast,
Can we use this room until 6 o'clock?
I have no idea if you can do that, honestly,
Oh, really?
because it's the school property and...
I'll just do it. If they come after me, you know, it's not high security, breach of contract, Pentagon stuff. Okay. How you doing? No, he just interviews me.
This way, yeah.
Good. I'm gonna walk into the...
Yeah, walk into the shot.
Ready?
Yes, action.
I do believe by studying animal behavior, we can really learn a hell of a lot about humans.
Of course you want to enjoy yourself by going to a movie, going out for dinner, or something like that. But animals just live for the day because they know, many of them, I believe, that they have to try and survive because they themselves might be eaten by some other organism. Animals don't want gold or diamonds or money. They can live without that and still enjoy life. When to me, enjoying life isn't necessarily having money, it's like being happy, being able to have just what you need and maybe a little left over.
Well, the main difference between humans and animals is that humans think they are the most superior organisms on the planet, and animals just have to survive. And the problem is humans are making life difficult for many of the animals because we are encroaching on their territories and using them for experiments and things like this. We treat animals as if they're just like garbage or pieces of inanimate objects. Because, you see, we live in a culture where animals are just like cattle, and we raise chickens and pigs and animals like that just for food, and so we don't have any respect for them. And to give you a good example, when the airplane crashed in the Hudson River, or crash landed, as you all know, the reason why it crash landed was because a bunch of birds went into the engines. And everybody made a hero out of the captain, which was virtually true, but nobody wept for the birds that were stuck in the engines. Yes, and we got to tell them they have to think like me. You have to treat every animal as if he's part of your family. Now, let me tell you this. Some students say, oh, you know, I tell my students I like cockroaches. I say I like cockroaches. What's wrong with a cockroach? And someone says they're ugly. So then that's what someone's student said. A student told me, and I said, listen, suppose that cockroach said that people are ugly. You see? It's just a matter of reference points. And I tell them that, and I raise hell about it. You see? I know I'm one of the few people that like cockroaches. But hey, what the hell? Everybody needs a friend. Well, I like cockroaches. After all, they don't lie, cheat, or steal. And their most outstanding characteristic is I never met a single one that voted Republican. What kind of guy you think I am? And I don't know what it is. Well, actually, I have some suspicions. It's probably cell phones, these iPods, these Xboxes. All these things are distracting students. As of today, I see a girl who, unfortunately, she's walking in the hallway, and I see her cell phone. I said, what happened to you? You're supposed to be in class. Oh, an emergency came up. I said, what is the emergency? He said something about a relative. I said, look, before cell phones, you didn't have any emergency. You see? So all these are real distractions. And they bug me because in many cases, it's these people who are out in the hallway yakking on the phone during class time, and these are the ones who need more of the class because they're not doing too well. So it's like a negative response. The more time on their cell phone corresponds with the lower the grades they get. And I see this all the time. So what these people have to do, they have to raise hell. And they have to do what I do, encourage recycling. Don't use paper, well, use as little as possible. Don't buy the Sunday newspaper. Drive less, take the train, walk, things like this. And that's what I do all the time. Now, right now we're talking at a campus. I live 5-minute drive from here, 15 to 20-minute walk. I walk many times. Okay? I'll admit I don't walk all the time because sometimes I have to go somewhere. Or if the weather is really bitter cold or there's too much snow on the ground, then I drive. But most of the time, if I can, I walk. And that's what most people should do. And then they should respect animals. And like I do, if I see a spider in the house, I don't step on them. I try to capture them and put them outside. That's the point. There's my cell phone. We'll just leave it. The school in the 60s, 59 to 63, we never even heard of cell phones. We got up, we went to school, we came back. No distractions whatsoever. Now, we got, like I said, all these DVDs, iPods, Xboxes, everything. I don't think it's helping them any because you see a lot of organisms communicate in ways we don't really know about. And we're going to disrupt them. Let me just give you one example that we do know about. Sonar, of course, which has nothing, well, it's not with the phones, but it has disrupted whales and dolphins, causing them to beach because it messes up their ear organs inside, and it totally disorientates them until they may wind up and die by being stranded on a beach. What goes on in another part of the world is eventually going to affect us. And what happens in this part of the world is going to affect them. Let me give you a good example. Let's say cutting down the rainforest. Well, that's screwing up the weather patterns all over the world. Or spewing out carbon dioxide. We in America spew out, I think, over 28% of the world's carbon dioxide. And you see what it's doing to the whole planet. So there is no more local anymore. It's global. Since you asked me, these are the distractions. And as you can see, I am impassioned about that because this is what's happening. My name is David Arieti. I live in Skokie. I've lived in Skokie for about 22 years. I've been teaching for over 30 years. I teach biology, environmental science, and animal behavior at various colleges in the Chicago area. Right now I'm at Columbia College downtown in Chicago. I teach biology and environmental science at Columbia College of Missouri, up in an extension. And then I teach at the Oakton Community College at the Skokie campus. One of the advantages of being at many schools is I don't have to go to meetings, and it makes me more popular. Two, I'm also able to meet more students and more teachers at all these schools I can use as references or help. And another advantage of this is, too, you see, I won 3 Best Teacher of the Year awards at 3 different schools. If I were at one school, I would not have been able to win all 3 of them because you're only allowed to win 1 per school. Another advantage, I don't have to go to meetings. Most people did right now. What's that? Because by studying animal behavior, you can get an insight into human behavior. Because I think people forget that humans are animals as well. The English correct. It's on how humans cause disease. Okay.